In an era where sports deals are ballooning to unimaginable heights, the EuroLeague's jaw-dropping $100 million contract offer to Caitlin Clark is not only shaking the basketball world, but obliterating records. This deal, a testament to the rising influence of women's basketball, sets a new precedent, one that has rewritten the rulebook of athlete earnings and simultaneously outstripped anything the WNBA has ever seen. Caitlin Clark, a star that has captivated fans with her fearless style of play, now stands at the center of this historic shift, her name etched into the annals of basketball history. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. To understand the magnitude of this deal, one must first appreciate the rise of Clark herself. Known for her electrifying three-point shots and unshakable confidence, she is the kind of player that makes people stop what they're doing and pay attention. From her breakout college performances to the buzzer beaters that got her compared to the greats of both men's and women's basketball, Clark has cemented herself as not just an elite athlete but as a household name. Her presence on the court commands attention, and with each game, her ability to push the boundaries of what seems possible in basketball only grows. When the EuroLeague came knocking with a figure as large as $100 million, it wasn't just an offer, it was a seismic event. For context, the WNBA has long struggled with player salaries, often leading some of its top talent to seek opportunities overseas for better pay. Many of the WNBA's brightest stars have historically played in Europe during their off-seasons to supplement their income, a reality that has always hung over the league like a cloud. Caitlin Clark's deal didn't just change the conversation, it ended it. The EuroLeague offer overshadowed everything, instantly highlighting the disparity between what European leagues are willing to pay and much smaller figures in the WNBA. It put an undeniable spotlight on the financial state of women's professional basketball in America, a topic that has simmered for years. Clark's career until now has been built on big moments. Every three-pointer launched from way beyond the arc, every laser-sharp pass, and every piece of clutch play had been building towards something bigger. But no one saw this coming. Her ability to deliver in high-pressure situations has made her a fan favorite, but her appeal goes beyond just statistics or game highlights. Caitlin plays basketball with a certain swagger, a kind of confidence that borders on nonchalance. She's the player who hits a ridiculous shot and barely even reacts, like it's just another Tuesday for her. The fans eat it up because it's not just about the skill, it's about the attitude. And that attitude is part of what made her so attractive to European teams willing to shell out nine figures. The implications of this deal are vast. For one, it signals a shift in the landscape of women's basketball. No longer is Europe just a secondary option for players to boost their earnings. It's now a serious destination with the power to attract the very best. In fact, a deal of this magnitude suggests that the EuroLeague sees the future of women's basketball not just as entertainment, but as a market with untapped potential. Caitlin Clark, in this context, becomes more than just a player. She's a brand, a symbol of what women's sports can achieve on the global stage. But of course, this shift doesn't happen in a vacuum. For the WNBA, this moment is nothing short of a wake-up call. The league has prided itself on its steady growth and increasing visibility. But it's clear that the current salary cap and player compensation structures are woefully inadequate to compete with offers like Clark's. Fans who have long supported the WNBA are now faced with an uncomfortable question. Will the league be able to hold on to its stars, or will more players start to follow Clark's lead, seeking the bigger paydays that European teams are willing to provide? Clark herself is a fascinating figure, not just because of her skills, but because of her personality. She's got that sort of quiet confidence that's often more intimidating than any trash talk could ever be. She rarely celebrates too hard after a big play. She doesn't need to. Her game speaks louder than anything else, and that kind of demeanor is part of why she's able to handle the weight of a $100 million deal with such ease. While others might crumble under the pressure of living up to such a massive contract, you get the sense that for Caitlin, it's just another challenge to be met head-on. One of the most intriguing aspects of this whole deal is how it changes the narrative around women's basketball internationally. For years, women's sports have fought for equal recognition and pay, with progress being slow and incremental. And yet, here comes this deal, bulldozing through the status quo and sending a message loud and clear. Women's basketball is not just worthy of investment, it's worth betting big on. The EuroLeague's offer to Caitlin Clark isn't just about paying her what she's worth. It's about making a statement that the era of undervaluing women athletes is coming to an end. This deal also sets a precedent for other athletes, not just in basketball but across all sports. While Clark's success in negotiating such a massive contract may not be easily replicated, it opens the door for future stars to dream bigger. It redefines what is possible and pushes the ceiling higher for everyone. No longer do athletes have to accept the status quo, and Clark's deal is likely to spark a ripple effect as other leagues and organizations recognize the power that women's sports hold. As for Caitlin Clark herself, you get the sense that this moment, massive as it is just another step in her journey. There's no doubt that the pressure will be immense. Every shot, every move she makes will be scrutinized like never before. But if her past performances are anything to go by, it's clear she's more than capable of handling whatever comes her way. There's a certain calmness in the way she approaches the game, a level of poise that will serve her well as she navigates this next chapter of her career. The humor in all of this, of course, is that Clark herself probably sees this deal as just another day at the office. Sure, $100 million is an eye-popping figure, and yes, it shatters every record that's come before it. But for Caitlin, it's just another challenge. There's no doubt she'll continue to approach each game with the same steely determination and cool-headedness that have gotten her this far. She's the type of player who doesn't get too high or too low, no matter what's happening around her. And that's exactly what makes her so captivating to watch. If anything, this deal has put the entire basketball world on notice. The WNBA, for all its progress, will have to face some tough questions in the wake of this news. The EuroLeague, meanwhile, has positioned itself as a serious player on the global stage, capable of luring even the biggest names away from the U.S., and for Caitlin Clark, this is only the beginning. A $100 million contract is life-changing, no doubt, but for her, it's not the money that matters most. It's the game. And as long as she's on the court, hitting shots and making plays, she'll keep doing what she's always done. Win. In terms of sheer spectacle, nothing compares to the magnitude of this contract. The numbers are staggering, and yet they make perfect sense when you consider the level of talent and charisma Clark brings to the table. She's not just a basketball player, she's an icon in the making. Every aspect of her game, from her pinpoint shooting to her leadership on the floor, points to a star who is ready for the biggest stage. But beyond the glitz of this deal lies a deeper conversation about the future of women's sports. Caitlin Clark's $100 million contract might just be the tip of the iceberg. If the EuroLeague is willing to invest this heavily in one player, what does that mean for the future of women's basketball as a whole? Could this be the spark that finally pushes women's sports into the same stratosphere as their male counterparts? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure. Caitlin Clark has paved the way. The other aspect that can't be ignored is the sheer audacity of the EuroLeague's move. In swooping in with such an astronomical offer, they've positioned themselves as more than just an alternative to the WNBA. They put themselves in direct competition. It's a bold play, but one that might pay off in spades. With more and more players potentially looking overseas for better financial opportunities, the EuroLeague could very well become the premier destination for women's basketball talent. On the court, Clark's game is tailor-made for the EuroLeague's fast-paced, high-scoring style. Her ability to shoot from deep, combined with her sharp court vision, makes her an ideal fit for the European game. Fans overseas are in for a treat, as they'll get to watch one of the most exciting players in the sport take her talents across the Atlantic. And for Caitlin, it's an opportunity to expand her influence even further, introducing her brand of basketball to an entirely new audience. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.